But I think that if you can build a little bit of rapport with your customer and just tell them the truth, let them know, I understand. I understand that you don't want to come to the car dealership. I understand you probably had horrible previous experiences. I totally get that. I'm here all day long. I'm here 8 to 10 hours today, but I don't expect you to be here that long with me, okay? But what I know in all the years of me selling vehicles, what I've found out, and correct me if I'm wrong if this doesn't apply to you, customer, but this is what I found out. Number one, the most important is making sure that you get a vehicle that you're 100% happy with. And when I say that, I'm talking about the color, the trim, the make, the model, the features. That seems to always be the most important. And I've also found out that most customers always have 2 or 3 different choices that they might consider. They might consider different colors, few more options, few less options, maybe a different make, maybe a different model. But I want to do whatever I can to make sure I get you the vehicle that you're most happy with. So what I would like to do before we get into anything else is I'd like to conquer number one first. Now I understand that the monthly payment, if you're going to make payments, the interest rate, the trade-in, and all of that's going to be important. I totally understand that. And I want to respect your time, and I want to do everything I can to make sure the entire deal is perfect. But before we start getting too confused, and then then we start getting a little bit upset or anything like that, let's just see if I have a vehicle you would even consider buying. Because if I don't have a vehicle you would consider buying, you know that the trade-in price from me isn't really going to matter, or the monthly payment, or the interest rate. None of that's really going to matter if I don't even have something you would consider. So before we get into anything else, would that be okay if we just kind of get together, talk a little bit, figure out if we got something here that you might actually consider? And once we do, then yeah, we'll do the trade appraisal for you. We'll make sure we get a fair number. We actually use Kelley Blue Book. We use all the guides. We take everything into consideration. I'm sure you've been online. You've looked at a trade number. Maybe you've been to a dealership before me and you've already talked about it. Then we'll talk about the monthly payments if that's what you want to talk about. We'll talk about if you want to go through a bank, a credit union, or you're pre-approved already. Is there a certain term that you kind of worked out? And then you'll tell me, whether or not you want to put a down payment, how much you want to put down.